Now from the station on your side, you're watching Wavy News 10.
Wavy News 10 at 5 begins with several big stories. 2 cases of domestic violence, deadly. Family members say 3 children and their mother are dead in what Chesapeake police are calling a murder-suicide.
And a man is behind bars for a Portsmouth deadly shooting.
And morning rain clears out in time for a temperature spike.
We begin with live team coverage on that tragedy in Chesapeake.
She lost her battle with mental illness, which caused her to murder her children.
Police responded to Welcome Road just before 7 this morning, and what began as an armed barricade situation turned into a murder-suicide.
Family members shed light on how this tragedy unfolded to 10 on your side's Andy Fox. Andy.
Yeah, Tom and Aisha, we have had no further update from police than the one we got this morning. It was a horrific scene out here. Behind me is the apartment. This is number 3025. You can see the stuffed animals and the teddy bears there. Family members and close friends tell us who died here, a mother and her 3 children. The white van outside apartment 3025 Welcome Road would take away 3 children and their mother, Simone King. Simone's brother, Ivani King, says he came to the apartment concerned.
At first, I couldn't believe it, but I kind of took it seriously because of past incidents, so I came here. I was hoping that she didn't murder the children.
Chesapeake police responded to a welfare check and would find a woman who was dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Ivani King told us his sister and her 3 children were those who were dead in the apartment.
She was just happy. They all loved their mother, so that's why it's kind of difficult for me to take this in because, you know, she loved the kids.
Ivani says his sister recently split from her longtime partner. Simone's close friend, Remy, told us the same thing. Do you know what led to this?
Her girlfriend broke up with her. She couldn't take it.
Did she ever come and talk to you about it?
A lot.
It took someone to leave her at her lowest for her to finally go through with it. And I wish I was there to do more as a brother.
There are a lot of people out here with a lot of regrets. Coming up tonight on Wavy News 10 at 6, we have spent all day talking with people, piecing together what would lead the mother to do something like this. And I'll have that part of the story at 6. In Chesapeake, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
Just a horrible question to ask. Thank you, Andy. Continuing our live team coverage now.
A neighbor describes the chilling scene to 10 on your side's Karina Garcia.
Yeah, investigators are still piecing together what happened tonight. A mother, 3 children gone in an instant, and the community left in shock.
It was a lot of screaming coming from the household. No one knew what was going on. It was around the time the elementary kids get on the school bus, so we just thinking kids getting ready, having a hard time. We didn't know that that's what was taking place at that home when we heard the screams coming from that household.
Just before 7 a.m., Chesapeake police were called to a home in Peaceful Village for a welfare check. When they arrived, officers encountered a woman who was armed, barricaded inside the home. She is known as Simone King. Police attempted to negotiate with King, but those efforts failed. It was then that officers made a chilling realization. There was a high probability that children inside the home were already dead.
And they continued negotiating with this individual throughout the next minutes of the morning. Information was learned that there was a high probability that there was deceased juveniles inside the residence, which led our SWAT team to do an emergency entry.
What officers found inside was devastating. 3 children and King herself all dead. Police say King died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, Shauna Hicks, a resident who knew the victims from around the neighborhood, says the deceased were all young children.
If I'm not mistaken, the ages range between 6 and 7. Also, there was a 13-year-old young lady that stayed there as well.
As officials work to piece together what exactly happened inside that home this morning, neighbors are left reeling. The Peaceful Village community, shaken and in mourning, is calling for support.
We need the city to show up to these areas, come and check on us. We're tired of the violence.
And tonight, this community is demanding more mental health resources and support for families. Straight ahead at 6, we hear from an activist who says the mother King had been showing signs of distress leading up to this morning's incident. In Chesapeake, Karina Garcia, 10 on your side.
Karina, thank you. And we realize a tragedy like this is a lot to process. The death of children is especially heart-wrenching.
And just last week, 10 on your side spoke with CHKD's chaplain and bereavement coordinator following the drowning of a 12-year-old boy in Virginia Beach. She shared advice for parents on how to help children process death.
The best things that parents can do for their children is to be able to listen to what they're saying, and to be able to provide open-ended questions to explain more of what they're thinking. You as a parent are going to be there to listen to whatever words they have on their heart or in their that they're processing.
Tragedies like these hit the whole community. For more tips on how to help grieving children, head over to wavy.com.
And our coverage of deadly domestic violence continues in Portsmouth.
A 30-year-old woman was killed in a shooting. Police charged Hasheed Mills with aggravated murder, among other charges.
And 10 on your side's Brett Hall is live with the latest on this case. Brett.
Well, we're still waiting to learn more information about what exactly led up to this latest homicide in Portsmouth. However, it is domestic in nature. We do know that. And court documents that we found today reveal that the relationship was marred by Portsmouth police involvement. It was just before 8:30 last night. Portsmouth police were called to Chesapeake Point Apartments in Churchland for a domestic dispute.
And we got single gunshot wounds.
By the time they arrived, police say they found 30-year-old Shaquana Jordan shot. She would die at the hospital. Today, 30-year-old Hasheed Mills charged with pulling the trigger. According to court documents, the two were a couple. They had a child together, and they lived off Kenny Lane. They were also familiar with Portsmouth police. 3 times in the last year, Hills was charged with assaulting Jordan. He's been accused of pushing her out of a moving car, pulling her hair out until it caused a bald spot. And just last month, Jordan told police she feared for her life and that Mills threatened to kill her multiple times. A neighbor tells 10 on your side. Their relationship was not just something known to police.
I do know that there are people that fight over there very often, so I figured that it was probably something to do with that.
Mills has been convicted on assault charges in the past and actually interviewed with our Chris Horn in regards to a different story 6 years ago. He has also served time in federal prison on drug charges. Tried to get in contact with members of Jordan's family. We were not successful, and Mills declined our request for an interview in jail. It's also worth noting that Mills tried to take out charges on Jordan within the last year. Now he's charged with aggravated murder and several other charges, among them being abuse and child neglect. That's because a child was present during the crime, according to police. We're live at Portsmouth Police Headquarters. Brett Hall, 10 on your side.
Brett, thank you. Domestic violence is something we see all too often. If you or a loved one is suffering from domestic violence, there are resources that can help.
Our awareness page on wavy.com includes contact information for shelters, several abuse hotlines, and more. It is under the investigative menu.
We had some rainfall, some thunderstorms earlier today. About an inch of rain fell across our area. A couple of showers still may be coming down across parts of the peninsula for tonight. Otherwise, we have some dry air that's moving in temporarily. More rain is expected to develop overnight around 4 o'clock in the morning. We'll have another round of rain before we see some clearing coming up tomorrow. Temperatures should be a little warmer tomorrow with highs in the 60s. We'll look ahead to your weekend forecast coming up.